What am I doing up? I don't even know what I'm up for. I'm up. I should be on the couch playing video games. But instead, I'm going to be here for a little bit, editing some podcasts, and I figure why not just hang out with all of you. By all of you, I mean 3 of you who are up as well. Hi. I've got some work to do. I'm going to run the cameras. It's a little dark. It's a little dark on purpose because it's late night. I won't wake anyone up. And Grace isn't asleep. She's going to go work out. If you're watching this later, as the title says, this is literally going to be a video of a man editing podcasts. And you're not even going to really see that. You might hear it. Will McClade is here. What am I doing up? It's 2 a.m. Good question. John G's here. Will McClade says, I'm a little drunk. Am I a little drunk? Yes. Yes, I am. That's fine. That's fine. Brandon's here. What's up, Brandon? Excited for a baseball season to start? Yeah. I'm worried, Brandon, that I just don't think this baseball season's going to end. Or I think it will end. I think it will end prematurely, but we'll see. Austin Meadows going to be down a little bit with coronavirus, so players are dropping, and I'm concerned about that. I want the season to go. I'm excited. 23rd, right? So, yeah, we'll be talking. Regardless, we'll be covering on Box Score Heroes. Andrew Cook's here. Hello from New Zealand. 5:45 p.m. tomorrow. Oh, see, there you go. It's late for me. The lights are low on purpose. We're going to be doing some late night work. You guys are going to ask me some questions. By the way, this isn't an Ask Me Anything, because I reserve the right to not answer any questions that I don't want to do, even for money. Just not what I do. I'm with you, Brandon. I'll take as much baseball as I can get. Kirkwood Deals here. Good evening, Pit Boss. Good evening, Kirkwood. That's a formidable name, and I love it. So one of the things I'm doing here, I hope this doesn't knock my feet off a little bit. I have got to upload Casterly Talk for tomorrow and the afternoons of Josh and Ken, our recorded version. So while you guys just do your stuff, do your own work. You got like some work to do, taxes or something. I mean, it's past the new tax day, or you can post a question here live on YouTube and just hang out with me while I edit these podcasts. Sup, says Jonah. Love New Zealand. Yeah, I'd love to get to New Zealand myself. Right now travel from the U.S. isn't really optimal and allowed, I guess. Some of the stuff I saw. So I want to go live. I want to go live in the Shire, and I'm sure New Zealanders, Kiwis, what was that? Is that appropriate? I don't even know if that's appropriate. I apologize if it's not. I'm sure they aren't are tired of us Americans popping over. But is this where Lord Rings is? But I don't care. It's like when I'm in New York. I love going to Times Square. I know we're not supposed to go to Times Square. I know it's tourist central. I want to go to Times Square, get a hot dog, see the flashy lights, and I'm going to do it every time. All right? That's just the way it is.
Calls. Stick around.
All right, you might be hearing some stuff. That's me actually editing and I've done some work already, but this is me getting Casterly Talk ready up for tomorrow and making sure it sounds okay. And I
want to thank you all for continuing.
There we go. Cool. That's done. That's part one. We're going to export that. I'll come back to your questions here. This is what we do. I made a logo for this. So I don't consider this content of any kind. I consider this technology exists where I can press a button and I'm suddenly speaking to people in New Zealand from my home studio in Burbank. So why not occasionally just take advantage of that and just hang out with friends, right? Kiwis is good. Okay. And I'm not making light. Like, things could change, or it could be just a slang. Maybe it's not offensive, but maybe it's just a slang that, isn't good. I was born in America, but my dad was born in Graz, Austria, and is Russian. My grandmother's Ukrainian. My grandfather is Circassian, passed away last year. But I grew up just being called Russian and Ruski and communist and comrade. And I think all those are not necessarily offensive, but, taken out of context or the way some of them are used, I didn't really care for them or grew up with that. So I understand. I'm not, by the way, Not saying my plight was worse than anyone else's. Just want to make that clear. So when I say Kiwis, I just want to be like, oh, oops. I want to make sure it's good. But Andrew says it's good. Excellent philosophy. This is funny. Thank you, Kirkwood. Excellent philosophy. Great plan indeed. That's Kirkwood. That's kind of how I talk on most podcasts. Clink, clink. We got a clink, clink coming in.
Clink, clink.
Trey, did you put the kids to bed? Kiwi's a national bird. Our rugby national team is called the Kiwis. See, Andrew, this is technology being used right to do some, sharing of information. You're doing the sharing. I'm doing the learning. And I think that's good. Let's see. This is part 2.
And we're back here. It was like 11:55
and from Casterly Talk episode
midnight to midnight. I had to get like 10 up
tomorrow. We're also going live. We're also going live. If you're not subscribed to Box Score Heroes, I got to put a link in the description. Got to add that later. Me and Tom Dagnino will be live tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific, to talk some baseball over on Box Score Heroes YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribed to that as well. All right, exporting that file. Ambulance Soul is here. Trey T says, "Yep, all tucked in." Trey, how many kids you got? 2? I'm trying to think of the pictures you've posted in the Discord server. 2 seems about right. If I call, you're probably gonna be like 7. All right, that's fair. You feel free to talk amongst yourself, but also at the same time, ask me a question. Talk baseball. Brandon, how do you think the Diamondbacks, if you're still there, Brandon, how do you think the Diamondbacks are gonna do this year? Let me know. I want to know. In the meantime, I'm going to be all right. Here we go. I hope I'm plugged in. I'm wired in. So let's see if this knocks me off at all. I'm going to start uploading some files to the show here or to my podcast feed. So let's see what this does. There's some quick files. Just let me know. Let me know if you guys experience any interruptions. Looks good so far. YouTube says excellent connection. Just the one. You got one? Wait a minute. Trey, you got one kid? You posted a picture on our Discord server, which you could access via the Patreon page. You and your wife, I remember seeing that. And then I thought I saw at least 3 other humans at that table. But you got one. Okay. Maybe one is plenty. One's a handful, I'm sure. How old, Trey? Again, this is the YouTube content that you all want. You don't. It's just me hanging out. I don't do this often. I know a lot of my pals do these live stream shows and the super chat shows and all that stuff. It's just I'm not good at it. They're better at it than I am, to be honest. So I just stick to my podcasts. All right, we're uploading one here. Let's see. This is a test. This is a test to see is the bit rate dropping? Okay, good. No, this is the test. This is a good test, Kirkwood. I want to see what my system can hold because it's still showing as excellent connection on my end, but I want to make sure this is good. All right, 13 going on 28. That makes sense. Maybe I saw Trey. Maybe I saw in the picture a 13-year-old who thinks she's several 28-year-olds. Maybe that's what I saw. Quality, this is good. This is a test. I don't mean to use you guys as an experiment. We're just hanging out, though. Will McLean says the Braves definitely going to have a great regular season and then lose in the divisional round. Book it. Audio stayed okay. Video blocky. That's fair. I will say I love the Braves pitching. Even what Felix Hernandez kind of sitting this one out, but I think he was a question mark anyways. I don't think that we're necessarily going to rely on him much. So, and I like the Puig signing. We're talking baseball. Sound a bit out of sync. Audio stayed okay. Okay. Video is okay now. I wonder if it's different in New Zealand. I could tell some ghost stories. Ooh. Ghost stories with Ken. I won't always be doing streams where I'm editing podcasts. I just literally thought, why not? And then, I made this I just threw this together. Oh, like that's stupid, but I love it. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, everybody. The life of a podcaster is 11 coming up on 11 o'clock my time, and I've still got to get my podcast out for tomorrow. And next, all right. So we just put up Casterly Talk. Kirkwood says, "Hey man, interactive pinnacle of the night for me. Glad to be of service in any capacity." Kirkwood, you are in a great service for king and country. I am neither a king nor a country, but consider the service just as important. And I like chatting with you all here. I mean, I'm in such a good mood. Who knows? I might even answer like Schmodown questions. I don't answer those much, though. I'll be honest with you. I should switch the camera. I have some other cameras to switch to next time. They're not set up right. I should just have you a camera on my computer screen, or I could share the screen. I know there's a share screen option, but I'm not. This is what we're gonna do, because you could just see the boring me going through GarageBand files. I'm copying and pasting text right now. It's just, this is the worst. Literally, why the internet is the worst is what I'm doing right now. But I'm still doing it, and that's gonna be okay. Gonna save this episode. Are you guys listening to Casterly Talk? Do you still want to hear it? I don't know. You let me know. I'm still going on with it. In fact, that's what this episode is about. I talk about that I'm still happy to be going on the Game of Thrones World of Ice and Fire books, show, maps, everything, the big journey. All right, so that one is scheduled. Schedule that, then I'll come back here and check on you guys. Oh no, Graham Butler's here. Oh no. I said the S word. I did. I like the chill vibe. I'd actually be curious to see how use Avid Premiere. No, Jonah. I just for podcasts, I just use GarageBand and a combination with Audacity at times. Is Nolan going to be making return? Nolan keeps appearing on Saturday Night Napzok, and I think we got some guests soon there. But as far as a full episode of Mysteries of the Unexplained, yeah, I absolutely want to. Nolan wants to. Yeah. Glad to see you back in the front. Of course, enjoyed your spectacular promo you cut outside many weeks ago. Epic, sir.
Clink, clink.
Thank you. Yeah, Graham says on and off. There you go. Do a Game of Thrones rewatch, Graham. We're going to be start doing that on Casterly Talk soon. Yeah, Kirkwood, it's fun to be back in the Schmodown. Schmodown it's never my primary thing or primary passion, but I have a lot of fun interacting with the fans of the Schmodown, and that's quite frankly what brings me back to it often. I won't be competing anymore. Those days are done. But the fans, the live event, man, the live event in LA, the first live event was so good, so spectacular. Not the spectacular, but so spectacular that I just was like, yeah, this brings new life to the Schmodown for a lot of the competitors, the live event, because it just put us. It was not just the energy, but it was the interaction. Okay, I am going to log out of this one. Don't worry, the stream's still going. We're logging out of Casterly Talk, and then we're going to sign on in to the afternoons. This is where I'm glad I'm not sharing my screen, because then you might see some passwords. We got Jason Creed here. Any plans for another book? Let's see. Rarely do I have the book with me, but I actually have a copy right here because I'm finally getting around to putting together Inside Why We Love Star Wars episode 3 for the YouTube channel on the page and the Patreon page. They get it first for a few days, and then it comes up on the YouTube channel here. But plans, Jason, thanks for asking. No plans in the works. Some thoughts in the works, and I have a conversation that needs to be had with the publishers, Mango Publishing. We had some email exchanges, and they're definitely interested to hear if I want to do something else. And so I have a couple ideas, but I don't know. One might be Star Wars related. It won't just be like an expanded version of this book, even though there's some new stuff to write about. and there's other scenes in the other movies that I didn't include that I could have included. I don't see it going that direction. Might be more of like a weird take on a memoir of a Star Wars fan. And then also kind of there's a baseball one I want to do. I just don't think there's a market for me writing about baseball, but we'll see. Cody Seals here says, Ken used to be a DJ. What's the most overplayed song ever? Well, so I'm a DJ now, actually, Cody, to update you. I am a DJ now at a station in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. I do Saturday mornings, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WLDJ 107.5 FM. It's kind of oldies, but it plays some newer stuff. It's a weird mix, but it's a smaller station. But back in the day, I was a DJ in the 90s from like 94 to 98 range, 95. It was about 4 years. And yeah, so any of those big rock singles from that era, you could say there were some overplayed ones, whether they were good or not, whether you loved it, like Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, Smashing Pumpkins. I heard Tonight a lot, and I like it, but I heard a lot. But as far as the all-time classic ones, I think Hotel California definitely got overplayed to a point where it kind of killed a song, which I think is a great song. And Stairway to Heaven, right? The jokes about, even go back to a movie like Wayne's World, where no stairway. Well, at our station, in our station, our program director, John Mackey was his name, we were 95.3 FM, KWBR, California's Rock and Roll Bear, Pismo Beach, San Luis Obispo, Santa Maria, California. If any of us played Stairway to Heaven and our program director caught us, it was a $95.30 fine. So that kind of is the answer of the all-time. Cody, yeah, if you want to look for the station, you can listen on TuneIn. Just go to the TuneIn radio app and type in like a Hall of Fame music radio, WLDJ, whatever. You'll see it, and you can listen. And then I think you have to listen live. Like, you can't listen to me anytime. Like, it's 6 a.m. Eastern time. And hey, channels, yeah, to answer your question, yes, 6 a.m. Eastern time. So I record it, and I record it here, and I'm not live, right? So you can listen to it there. And then on Saturday Night Napzok, if you guys listen to that podcast I release on Saturday nights, I drop clips in there of dedications I do on the radio show. I put them on the podcast. So you might be listed in there. Channel says, OMG, the Smashing Pumpkins are my all-time obsession. Tonight was played a lot. Yeah, and Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness was a just amazing album, 1979 on there as well, right? Bullet with Butterfly Wings, correct me, Channels. I think that was on that one, right? Bullet with Butterfly Wings, that was like the first big single to come off of it. And the Pumpkins are great. I Billy Corgan, pro wrestling fan. I was a fan of a band called the Halo Friendlies in the early 2000s in Orange County, kind of post-pop punk band of all girls, and a bass player from that band, Ginger Reyes, actually went on to be like the touring bass player with Smashing Pumpkins a little bit after Darcy left, or as we used to say back in the day, Darcy left for a while. Love the hardcover Stairway at the Kennedy Center honors. Yeah, and look, Stairway's a great song. Hotel California, great song. Barracuda by Heart, great song. Sometimes just sometimes they just they get overplayed. That's what it is. Look, I'm an Oasis fan. You guys know that. I love Oasis. Wonderwall, 1995. Man, I heard that everywhere I went. Right, but I still love it. Live Forever. I still love it. But yeah, played Cherub Rock. Yeah. There you go. Just turn this into a Smashing Pumpkins conversation. If anyone's just joining me right now, here's literally what I'm doing. I've been editing in the background here. I've been editing the podcast that I have to get out for tomorrow. I just uploaded Casterly Talk. That'll be released in the afternoon. But now I have to edit the afternoons, which is released in the morning. And then I also have to answer a text from Mark Ellis and Josh McCouga. Oh, they're just talking about, we're just having a late night text thread conversation. That's what we do here. Let me do a copy and paste. Keep these questions coming. We're having a fun lo-fi late night conversation. Literally, as the title says, Man Edits a Podcast live on air. That's what we're doing here tonight. Channels, I never saw the Pumpkins live. Did you get to see them live? Is the question I want to ask you. Hello, Britt here. Well, yeah. What do you? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I know. You probably love Oasis too, right, Graham? Smashing Pumpkins has been re-released. Their albums remastered. Machina 2 is being recorded now from remastered recordings of Core Records Instagram. Interesting. Clutch. Everyone needs more Clutch in their music rotation. Kirkwood says, Hot Sizzler Nights was a great concept. When the pandemic is over, I think there should be a celebratory episode with Makuga. I think there's one Sizzler left in SoCal. It's not too far, but it's too far for me and Makuga to meet and then go record. And I never recorded the episodes there, though people did suggest that. I didn't know. I didn't get permission to even do Sizzler as a podcast. So maybe I could do it remotely. I have the technology to do it remotely and maybe even discreetly. So maybe I do that. Maybe I do that just for you, Kirkwood deal, because I did love that show. J-Dog says number one movie in America right now, The Empire Strikes Back, 1980 has returned. Yeah, that's fun. That's funny. I like that. James is here. Sup, Pit Boss? I've been going through a lot of Schmoes No episodes for the news highlights. Oh man, that's great, man. Thanks for the memories there. Cody says only one Sizzler. What happened to that state? California's failed itself. Yeah, there's probably a lot of problems with California, and the lack of Sizzlers is one. The one that used to be one really close to me in Burbank shut down. That's the one that I used to do the Hot Sizzler nights from, and that shut down. It's a dentist's office now. I'm thinking of going there just to try the cheese toast. But I drove past the other day. I was just doing a late night social distant quarantine, put the top down on the Mustang at 11 p.m. and drove around listening to George Harrison music at 11 p.m. in Los Angeles. I drove past a Sizzler, Kirkwood, and I thought, oh, we might be able to still find a way to do this. Trey says, the news. Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Good pull, Graham. Good pull. Channel says, I have seen them several times live. They were in Pittsburgh last about 2 years ago for sure. First show I saw them there after they returned from the break in 96 post keyboardist death. Yeah. I do remember that. There's the key issues. No wonder there's so many problems. Yeah, there is. Sizzler could solve a lot of problems. All right. You're going to hear for a second some audio.
And we missed you.
Wait, so you just need a person to move that jet bridge out to connect to the plane so we can walk off the plane?
Yeah, I'll push. Yeah.
We're just...
So now
gotta get the sound
people
right.
are freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 10 minutes goes by.
Yeah.
20 minutes goes by.
Okay. We're good with that. We're good. I did some pre-editing before here tonight. Now let's go to the end of the first half here.
Serious world.
Doesn't matter.
Cut the end off a little bit because you might hear us chatting. Nope. Done. Got it. Okay. We're going to export this and then upload that one. Isn't this exciting? Isn't this the content you've always dreamed of watching? Man Edits Podcast. Man learns to light fire. It's the lighting fire of the modern days. Export episode 112.01. That is uploading right now. Isn't that exciting? That's exciting. Miss that Sizzler buffet, says Gavin Mann. Yes, the Sizzler buffet. I love the Sizzler buffet. Graham says you had Josh muted, as I recall, so that should be good. I did. I've learned. There's a lot of afternoons episodes where Amanda and Josh start talking to each other as I go to break because they don't realize they're on. Jason asks, I love this question from Jason. I love that Jason came to play with some real legit questions here. Not that the rest of you don't. Trey, we're looking at you. Jason says, what was your experience in getting your book published? Was it fairly easy to find a publisher? My experience is a little different and probably different than other folks. I had my friend Alicia Malone, and prior to that, an old pal, Chris Stuckman, wrote books for a company called Mango Publishing based out of Miami. Alicia's written 2 books with them. And after I got laid off at Collider, I had lunch with her and I said, hey, I think I want to write a book because I want to see where I want to go with my career, maybe take it in a different direction or at least add some wrinkles to it. She said, that's a great idea. I think you could. I'll put you in touch with my editor. And so I had meetings out of that. So I didn't have to do the old query letter or try to get representation. I don't have a lit manager. So that was my experience. Pretty unique. Mango is a smaller publishing house, a very viable and highly, successful independent publisher, but small enough to where they are interested in someone like me who had a following in an area that I wanted to write about. So when it was, I had some ideas of different books, and then it was like, well, Star Wars is probably where I should go. And they were like, yep, that's what we think. They did some SEO testing, and their research department comes back and goes, yep, we tested it. Star Wars book might do well. People seem to like these space films. So that's why we settled on that. And it was, then the harder part was writing. That's not the experience for everyone, Jason. So it's good. J-Dog says the dynamic duo of Cat Napzok and Josh McCuca. We're something. I mean, I don't know. Are we a dynamic duo? I think we probably are at times. Other times, maybe not. All right. For those who might be just joining, I am about to upload one of the afternoon's files, and this one's a little bit bigger than the Castley Talk one. So there's a chance there might be a disruption of some sort. A communications disruption can only mean one thing: invasion. All right, we're uploading that one right now, so bear with me. Jar Severa, hey, Jar Severa, how's Alicia Malone? It's been a hot minute since I've heard from her. Alicia, I haven't talked to Alicia, not directly, at least, maybe a text or two in the last year, but yeah, I'd say it's been it's been about a year since I've actually seen Alicia Malone. And she then was doing great, working on some cool stuff. What I respect a lot about Alicia Malone was she did a lot of things and covered movies and was in the geek space at times, and early stuff in the Schmodown, and she was in our little weird schmoes world, slummed with us. And she would never say that. That's me. But she at one point decided, I need to really focus on what I want to do. You'll hear that term brand. She never really used that, but that's kind of the thing of just like who I am and what I want my work to be, what I want my legacy to be, what I want to be known for. And that's when she started going, in some very specific goals, and the Turner Classic Movie thing and Filmstruck and the stuff that came after, and her book, the first book, Female Gaze and everything. Like, I'm always so just admired what she'd done and very proud of what she did. And she focused on it. Tiffany Smith did that after a while too. Like, this is what I want to go this direction. And so that's some of the stuff I was trying to do. Zach is watching from South Korea. I love this. See, here it is. Just a man editing podcasts, hanging out. And now we got folks in New Zealand. We got Graham Butler, who claims to be in the UK. He's probably in Detroit. And then we got John G's here saying not big on Sizzler, but loved Shakey's back in the day. Shakey's was great. Will McLean's still here. Will McLean was one of our first people in chat tonight, and he's drunk, but it's good. What's something you enjoy doing that would surprise people? Right now it's cooking, because it used to be, Robbie Smith is here. Robbie's amazing. Your insomnia is bad. Well, it's still not even near bedtime for me. Laughs in British summertime. What was the question? This is something I enjoy doing that would surprise people. Right now it's cooking, because I say that because I used to make a lot of jokes about how I couldn't cook. My old roommate and a fellow stand-up comic, Lou Santini, used to say my favorite food was purple, because most of my meals came from a package and were prepared in 3 to 5 minutes in a microwave. But I always liked the idea of cooking, and I could do some stuff every now and then. But over the last year or 2 years, I started doing more when I got to my apartment in Burbank. And now that I'm here, it's just, and the lockdowns kind of forced me to, how do you save money, kind of prepare food, all that kind of stuff. And it's the best. I've just every day you can, ask Grace on Twitter. Every day I'm like, here's our meals for today, and I'm so excited to try this thing. And I'm no longer even following recipes. I'm just cooking. So 2:15 where Robbie is. How's the bit rate? Everything good? That episode, that part of the episode is up, so that's good. Let me just upload. I saw Zach wants me to do a Jabba impression. Okay. Give me a second here. I don't do a lot of Jabba impressions, but I am on board to try that. Let me upload some commercials. I do what I do now is I advertise some of my own podcasts, my book, some other friends of mine, and some select listeners, some Patreon supporters who have podcasts. I advertise them in my podcast to kind of spread the word. All right. So Zach says, do your best Jabba impression, please. All right. Oh. Let me know in the comments below. Will I be doing Casterly Talk when House of the Dragon? It comes out either 2021, 2022. I've heard any updates from the show. Updates from the show, I have not. I haven't also dug for information on that though. And yeah, I'm in fact, on the episode I'm releasing tomorrow on Casterly Talk. At the end of the show, I kind of get honest and personal about how close I came to shutting down Casterly Talk after season 8 for various reasons, including I love that season and I love the show, and I just felt my psyche was destroyed by the people's reaction to the show, which they're welcome to have those reactions. I just weighed on me, and I was gonna knock it off, and now we're not. We're diving into lessons and themes from the show, from the books. Looking forward to the books. There's a lot to keep talking about. And House of the Dragon is one of the things. And we did a big episode with Thomas Risling going over some of the highlights and characters from Fire and Blood. It's here on the YouTube channel, and that's the kind of stuff we're going to keep going. Kyle's here, says, I'm only awake because of night shift. I understand it. Night shift at a homeless shelter. That's tough. Oof, yeah, but I've done that. Favorite dish to cook, as I catch up with your questions here. Favorite dish to cook. Today was a highlight. Vegan mac and cheese. Daya has a great cheese sauce, and if I served it to you and I didn't tell you it was like fake cheese, vegan stuff, you wouldn't know. And with some egg noodles, chopped up jalapenos, chopped up tomatoes, chopped up onions, saute them, a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of onion salt, and then a little Cajun garlic sauce. Stir it all up. Oh, it's Grace and I just love it. And Jabba, I passed on the Jabba. Great. Christopher Atkinson, Dale Murphy, or Chipper Jones? Christopher, is this a general question or a personal question? Thank you, Robbie. I enjoyed season 8. I enjoyed the story that was presented to me. Yeah, I always do. I engage in that. Also, Kirkwood, I taught myself. I'm pretty proud of this. I don't like myself much. Okay. Let's be clear. Pretty self-loathing kind of person there. I am very proud of myself. I taught myself how to make some enchiladas, and vegan enchiladas. And I keep saying vegan. I don't want to be I'm a vegan and I'm going to tell you about it, guy. Let me tell you how I CrossFit. By the way, I don't CrossFit. We've made a switch in our house. I am about 60% vegan. I still enjoy a steak every now and then. I love fish, love shrimp, chicken. If it's in wing form, I like it. But for my health and for some other reasons, just switch to vegan, and I've been loving it. And it's just opened up a whole new world of possibilities. When I used to cook, it used to be like steak. It was some microwave mashed potatoes and some beans, right? And which is one of my favorite meals, by the way. But yeah, it's been fun kind of exploring different things to cook. Egg is non-vegan. Yeah, the egg noodles. Yeah, you're right about that. We're veggie vegan in the house here. So vegan mac and cheese. On a technicality, you're right, Graham. The question. All right. So the Dale Murphy question. Chipper Jones. So officially, Christopher, Chipper Jones is the better player. Hall of Famer. Murphy did not make the Hall. Fell just short of 400 home runs. Finished his career with a whimper in Philly. Dominant in the two-time MVP in the early 80s for the Braves, when the Braves under Joe Torre were pretty good. Murphy's great. I grew up and Murphy was a stud. Murphy was a star. He was an all-star. The Braves were failing by the time I was really watching baseball, 87, 88. And Murphy, he was a fading star, but he still had some years left. When he was traded to the Phillies, I thought he'd be playing a few more years with the Phillies. Ended up with the Rockies to close out his career. That's where he really kind of just petered out. So I personally probably love Dale Murphy more than Chipper Jones. But I remember when Larry Jones came up and he was going to play, was it 93 or 94? He was going to play and then got hurt, right? That was going to be his rookie year. Then he got hurt. He missed the whole year. And then 95, kind of the first time he was on the big screen. Yeah, I agree with you there. My hero is a kid from Atlanta, Dale, but I can't deny Chipper's loyalty. Yeah, Dale Murphy. Jared's got this. What would happen if GOT season 7 and 8 had 10 episodes each, plus 9 and 10 to wrap the show? It's fun. I actually talked about that tonight. I don't think it needed to go 10 episodes, and I think that conversation of HBO saying, "Well, we would have given him 10. They didn't want to do it." Is and people use that to spin it against Benioff and Weiss. HBO just wanted money, and I think that I'm really happy with it. 1 or 2 more episodes. Give a little space and time. Yeah, 100%. But I don't think it would have. Your question, Jerry, you're not saying would it have been better? Just would have been the perception. Yeah, that was one thing too. People, when you hear you're only getting 7 episodes, you're only getting 6 episodes. Before you even see the episodes, your expectations are now, well, I'm not going to get enough story. And then when the story starts moving a little faster, which it did, you're like, see. So you might be right. The perception might have been a little bit different. Any advice for starting a vegan diet? There's a lot of cool. One, I'll say this: not a sponsor. There's no promo code. Not a sponsor. We did some Blue Apron. We just recently did it. And HelloFresh. There's other options. I get it. We did Blue Apron because we got a free one, and so we chose the vegetarian one. Now Grace has been veggie and vegan a lot longer than me. She would come and go in and out of it. Now she's like 98% vegan when she can. Because Jason, I just didn't know, like, what is that? Like, what do I expect if I'm switching to a mostly vegetarian vegan diet? I grew up in my dad, I love red meat. I'm gonna have a steak again in my life, French dip sandwich, hard for me to avoid. But my dad is, who had a heart attack at 64, is a, steak, 5 steaks a day kind of guy. And he's not in bad shape or anything like that. He's a strong Russian, but, I was raised in that house and my mom's been in and out. She doesn't like red meat a lot. She's fish at most. So she's big on Mediterranean diet. So I was raised with both, but growing up, I just didn't know what it was. And so when someone would tell me, "Hey, I'm vegetarian," I'm like, "What do you have? Like sautéed asparagus?" Like, I don't know. So Jason, you just have to try, give it a look on a recipe app and find out the different things and find out, because it isn't always about substitute meats. Cause I don't like a lot of those Beyond Meat or, Afterburgers, or is that a brand? We should create that, Afterburgers. It should be like a little rocket. And the pastas and, there's different things to do. Let me catch up with some of the questions here. Bushan said, hi, hello, how are you? Saw that with Rebels too. Clone Wars. Yeah, there you go. No, yeah, Graham. Yes, no, you're right. Clone Wars to the point. Jason says, have you seen Last of Us 2? What would you think about thoughts on HBO shows in development? I have not played Last of Us 1 or 2. I understand it's great. I'm not a huge gamer. I just like what I like. I'm with you too, John. Season 8 is one of my favorite seasons. It'll be the beer. Yeah, the beer. I mean, look, I still, I love working out. I have a home gym here. We have the garage as a gym. I love working out. Grace is big on the cardio. She runs and runs and runs. But I love a good weightlifting session. But I also love whiskey. So it's always been a thing. EGDG GXE for life says, hey, thanks for being a superior human. I mean, I'm just an average human. Let's be clear about that. I'm an average human, but I appreciate the sentiment. What exactly is vegan cheese made from? John, I don't know. These are questions I don't want to, I don't necessarily want the answers for. I don't know what I'll get. Like, I love cottage cheese, just unrelated to veganism or vegetarianism. I love cottage cheese. It's one of my favorite little treats. And then someone eventually will tell me what cottage cheese comes from. And I don't need that. I don't need that toxicity in my life. Just let a man enjoy cottage cheese. I don't know. I don't know what is in it. All right, this is the second half of the afternoons.
We're back here on the afternoons with John.
As the title of the show actually says, I'm editing a podcast live. Now I record
Like,
most of my
what do you mean?
podcasts live
something,
to
it's
tape.
something with the wire. I don't know.
Saturday night
Look for
knapsack.
Jeff
I don't.
Hofstetler on the
I
freaky
like
toe.
middle toe.
There's my cougar.
Let's look up hammer toe.
Let's
Ranger
look up
Donald one. says it
Rancher
right.
Donald's looking up. So it's like your middle toe is like the aircraft carrier of your toe fleet, and the rest are like little destroyers and battleship for me. But
Have you watched any
Fine line.
Unsolved Mysteries yet?
we did on.
All right, this is some extra fun.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching live on Twitch.
Edit that part out. Go back to the beginning. Save. Export. Aren't you excited? Isn't this the best content in the world? So many people I know from my industry are just doing great live streams every day, doing really cool things, and here I am with low lighting, intentional low lighting, just hanging out, editing podcasts. Any new Sizzler cast coming in your decade? It will take about a decade. EX, DX, G, XE for life. Because as we said earlier, I think you joined. I think you joined after we were talking about it. No Sizzlers, but one left in Los Angeles, and it's hard for me to get to. Ambulance Soul says, "If I tried the Impossible Burger, I have, and the Beyond Meat ones are pretty good too. I'm okay with it. I've tried the Impossible Whopper. I was curious because I love Whoppers, Burger King Whoppers. Not a sponsor, love them. But it's a little impossible for me. It's not bad. They've improved it. Oh, Jason, I was going to go. I got a little sidetracked as I do. What really kicked off me learning a lot of different options with vegetarian options or vegan options was Blue Apron and choosing the vegetarian meals that came. You might not be able to do that. Might not be able to afford it. Kind of pricey. Might not be something. But go to a recipe app and just look, and you'll find something. Hammer toe, thank you. Thoughts on the Bad Batch? We covered that on ForceCenter this week, so I don't want to go too much into it. I'm okay. Like, I like the idea. Any new Star Wars content, I'm excited. I could literally have a new Star Wars show every month, and I'd be excited. I like the Bad Batch. I like the arc in season 7. I'm excited for the potential of the storyline, I should say, not the story time, the storyline and the era, the switch from the Republic to the Empire, and them kind of being the eyes and ears on the ground of what that is for a lot of people would be very interesting. I think there's some things they could deal with that I like. This is interesting. This is Jason says, season 8 was the first GOT season I ever watched. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. This is a TV show that rocks most movies. It was incredible. That's an interesting perspective. I really like that. A lot of vegan substances made from wheat, gluten, protein, unless it's started gluten-free. I really enjoy the nuggets. I'm okay, channels. I'm going to try that. I've been looking for a good chicken nugget substitute because I do love some chicken nuggies. I love I'll do some of the like the buffalo cauliflower, like it's supposed to be a buffalo wing. It's pretty good. It's okay, but I like a good chicken I love a good chicken meal. I'm going to look that up. Thank you. That's some great advice. Christopher says, we finally have Del Taco in Georgia. Oh, my God. Del Taco is my favorite. I can get a veggie option there. And again, I'll eat the meat. Don't worry about it. Clip that out. I'll eat the meat. That's for you, Graham. Ready for MLB, James? Yeah, I don't have faith the season's going to end or complete, but it'll be all right. I think it'll be all right. I'm excited. And that's why I've launched Box Score Heroes. Thank you for the super chat, EXDXGXE for life. I don't care if that stands for something. I'm going to read it out like that forever. Go buy yourself an average lunch tomorrow. That is the best. I'm pretty sure I have been to Whataburger in Fort Worth. Sweet tea. It was good. Do I think they'll confirm any of the rumored cameos for Mando 2 before the season happens, or leave us guessing? I think they won't confirm it. I think they'll leave you guessing. Have you tried vegetable kugel recipes before? No, but I'm going to look that up. What is it? Explain more. I'm still laughing about this average lunch. I'll go to 7-Eleven. I'm going to take that $10 and go to 7-Eleven. I'll pass on a mushroom-based thing. I'm allergic, not fatally. Ella Josh. Mushies, as we call them in this house. Oh, okay. Edge for. Oh, I see it now. I see it. I will Edge for life. EXDX. I love it. Good straight. I look, man. CM Punk. I'm a wrestling guy. Straight edge for life. Love that. Love that. But are you offended if I say EX, DX, GX, E for life? Because it's kind of like I'm reading some kind of computer code. I like it. I respect that. I did not have alcohol until I was 26. First sip of alcohol was 26. And you know what it was? You want some late night stream, some late night stream truth. My first sip of alcohol was a strawberry daiquiri. I'm gonna make a note of that. You know, I might put that in Saturday Night Napzok this week. I'm gonna make a note. Strawberry daiquiri, and I kind of know how to spell daiquiri. Of course. Yeah, I didn't I still to this day have not done, unless you count alcohol or pain pills, which I don't, try not to do much. I have not had a drug in my life. Not a weed gummy, not a the marijuana stick, not a death stick. No drug. So I actually respect you there on that. I'm close to it. Alexa Bliss is now on Cameo. You're trying to get me in trouble, and that's understandable. That's okay. But hold on, I'm going to make a note about that. Alexa Bliss on Cameo. All right, I'm going to upload the second half of the afternoons. If you experience any drop, that is why. This is due. This is like late for me. This episode of the afternoons is 6 a.m. in the morning, our time. Washington, NFL taking hits left and right. Feel bad for Ellis and Roca. Yeah, I do feel bad for Ellis, man. Poor guy. But Ellis he's been for the name change for a while. Graham, I'll see this. I'm gonna fix my eye, Graham. But I actually spelt it. That's a scribble, but I actually spelled it right. Caffeine counts direct. Yeah. No, that's what I mean. Caffeine, an ibuprofen, or alcohol, if you want to count that, and that's part of, might be part of the straight edge life. Yeah, from that aspect, no, I haven't. I've done, believe me, I've done some caffeine. I'm a good I'm a coffee fan. But in terms of like drugs, hard drugs, anything, and for you do your thing. If you're you, it's just not me. And the alcohol thing, yeah, I didn't till 26, and then it was a lady that made me do it. Oh, even Adam, not gonna hit. I'm kidding. This caffeine counts as a drug. You're in good company. The late Sir Terry Pratchett favored banana daiquiris. Ooh. All right, we got Jai Kumar. What advice we give to someone who continuously has suicidal thoughts because of how shitty and miserable their life is? Well, you know what? I am prepared to answer that serious question because I'm someone who suffered and can still says I'll battle the depression. Jai, excuse me. Did I say Jai? But in my 20s into my early 30s, suicidal depressions, 2 suicidal incidents, meaning some very close calls. I wouldn't call them attempts. But I had a gun to my head, quite frankly, a loaded 45 to my head at my friend's foreign exchange shop. And this is a story I think I've told on some podcasts, so I don't want to remix it for those who've heard it. So I've been there to that point. The old adage of hold on till morning, hold on for 24 hours. I'll make a Wilson Phillips joke right now. Hold on for one more day. But I think there's some truth in that. The great prophets, Wilson Phillips. So Jai, that's where it starts. And then you have to know the depression's never really necessarily going to end. And as far as life being miserable and everything, that might be true. And so there might be some horrible things going on. There might be some horrible things in your past, or might be, I'm not saying necessarily you're asking the question directly for you, but there's things, man. There's things. We all got things. Sometimes it's internal. Mine has always been really, really internal stuff. Self-loathing, self-deprecation are fun jokes, but it's been my view of myself inside has been always been off my whole life, which led to some really down things. And then I put my hope in some things when I was no longer kind of involved with sketch comedy and training at the Groundlings and that kind of stuff in the early 2000s. That's why I moved to LA. And when that was taken away from me or it ended, I almost ended myself. And that was a misplaced hope. Make goals, have dreams, but not temper some, not just temper realities so you can be ready for failure, but just live a complete, robust life. So and it's been big for me now because what the world's like right now, it's hard. So your own life might be a problem right now. And then you go outside, if you can't even go outside, and it's a pandemic and lockdown and upheaval and an important upheaval and important changes, but it's causing a lot of stress, a lot of problems, a lot of violence, a lot of tension. There's a lot of stuff going on. I keep saying this in my Discord server. Find the small joys and find the small victories and just live with those for the moment. And that might be going outside for a walk. It might be going up to 7-Eleven and getting a $4 deli sandwich. When I would be really down and out, and I used to make jokes of this, but this is true. A lot of times when you used to see me on Schmoes and stuff during the news and that whole era, I was really depressed. And there'd be days I would get in my car and I'd go to my favorite 7-Eleven, because yes, I have favorite 7-Elevens. I'd get a $5 deli sandwich, an energy drink. I wouldn't recommend the energy drink, speaking of caffeine as drugs. Candy bar. Yeah, I'll do that every now and then. And I'd drive around the Valley or LA listening to sad music, which, careful with that fuels your soul. And I'd swim in the depression and I'd cry and I'd bawl my eyes out for who knows what. But the sandwich was a small joy because I love them. I do love 7-Eleven. The candy bar was a small joy. And as stupid as it seems, driving around, stewing in my misery, crying, not knowing where I'm going to go, not knowing my life's going to go. I did kind of enjoy that sandwich. I wouldn't mind having another one. Small joys, small victories. That's where I'd be. Also, I also say this, and I'll catch up some of the questions. I just think this is an important question. Comes through here. I think sometimes we're afraid of our own depression, and you might feel good for 2 weeks and you might feel good for 2 years. And then suddenly one day you're not, because the depression returns. And I think you have to realize that's okay. And sometimes I'll swim around in the depression. I'll roll around, I'll root around in it like a pig. And you just have to know that's okay. It's what you do the next day. Get out of the pigsty and fight it. And just fight it. It's a constant. I used to say, it's my therapist and I used to talk about, and then on the Napzok Files, episode 46 on the Napzok Files podcast, it's on my YouTube channel here. I put the episode up. My therapist, my old therapist, came on my show long after I wasn't in service, or he wasn't serving me or working with me or whatever you call it. And we talked about stuff like this, but I used to view depression, battling it like a ping pong game. And you're just batting away as best you can. And sometimes you miss, and sometimes the other guy scores a point and your depression wins for a day. And when that happens, you can feel more disappointed. Almost worse than depression is a feeling that the depression's back and you're depressed about the depression being back. And that can be part of the problem. So Jai, I hope that answered your question, man. I hope that was a good question. It was a question you wanted an answer for. I hope it can help. So let us know. What do we got here? That podcast is almost done. It's loaded up. You're talking about first drink, Guinness, room temperature Guinness. Ooh, that's not good. You guys talking the veggie stuff. That's been great. Just read Netflix releasing the feature Devil all the time. Oh, deep cast. That's good. You got it, Edge for Life. See, there you go. Graham's been there too. And I tease Graham a lot. Graham is a great supporter of my shows and involved with on my Patreon page. But beyond that, I've shaken hands when we were allowed to do that with Graham. And he's a good chap. And I can't wait to one day get over to his neck of the woods and share a pint with him. But I tease him a lot. But he's got it. Oh, look at that. One light went out. We're really going dark. This is really dark. Love the MLB show games with Cody. Thank you. I'm down, man. That was a real bad game. Real bad game. Thanks for the support. Kirkwood. During my darkest times, I would pay cash for small purchases, just give the human contact with them, having to give back change. Small comforts, like I said. Yeah, that's true. Small victories, small comforts, small joys, and build from there. And know that tomorrow, tomorrow might be a worse day than today, but that's okay. Build for the next day. Just sent a Hugh command to your house. That sounds ominous. Sorry to rest in peace, Byron. Indeed. Matthew Moore, not Matt Moore, the former quarterback for the Dolphins, right? No, okay. Hey Ken, thanks for your openness. I imagine that the wonderful content and discussions you have over the years have helped many of us through a dark day. Yeah, you know what? You never do it for that. You never do it for that, but that's I've received many nice words over the years that have made the my own struggles feel okay that I've had them. So I appreciate that, Matt. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go back over here to the afternoons page and add some sponsors, because Josh and Amanda and I need to eat food. It's been tough, man. Podcasting during a pandemic has been easy. But listenership is down. Now I'm writing the description for this. And hold on, give me a second. You chat amongst yourself. I don't know does anyone actually read the podcast descriptions? The afternoon ones I always enjoy. I keep them pretty simple. So I'm putting the title in. Let's see. 112th episode of Afternoons. Crazy, Graham, right? You know what I mean? I apologize, guys. I'll be back to you in a second as we start to wrap up the stream here. I'm doing my homework. This is literally what I'm doing. Set it for Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific time. Season 2, episode 112. Thumbnails in place. Boom! My work's done. Woo! Did little moments of joy. Oh, Edge for Life, you're too sweet. Oh, thanks, Matt. I think I've seen some of your comments for ForceCenter stuff. Appreciate that. Jai Kumar says, thanks a lot for the advice. You have no idea how peaceful it's for me to listen to your voice and your thoughts. I hope you get all the happiness you want in your life. You're a good man, sir. Thank you. I'll take it. I'll take the win. And you know what? I'll tell you what. Final thought on some depression or self-loathing, or if you think your life's miserable and everything, don't be afraid to take compliments every now and then, and don't be afraid to take accept love that's given to you. That's a hard thing for us to do, and that's a hard thing for me to do a lot. So I'm going to take that. Watch the Twitch streams of afternoons while I eat breakfast on Saturday morning. Oh, thank you for going back and doing that. And this is how we do it. A few more minutes here. I'm going to go. I think Grace is almost done working out, which means we'll probably then sit down on the couch and watch a ghost hunting show. And we're late. We go to bed late. I wake up kind of early, I guess, because I'm an old man. Also going to end this stream because I think this other light's going to go out. This is weird. People are going to watch this later on. I don't know why they'd stick around and watch an hour of this. Live is kind of different. It's kind of we're all interacting and having a hangout session and no matter what. But imagine just watching this video like 2 weeks from now, because I'm going to keep it up on YouTube. Why not? And be like, why is Ken in a strip club with like a light on, just whispering into a microphone? I'm just going to do this from time to time. Hanging with Ken. What an original name. Hanging with Ken live. I got an exclamation point. Look at that. Live. And that's how you know it's a fun, exciting show. Live. I'll stop. Andrew Cunningham is here. This is rare, and I'll read this as proper as I can. This is a rare and wonderful treat to wake up to, no matter the subject matter. Give you an obscure song to listen to. 1 Year Down by Jennifer Trinan. 1 Year Down by Jennifer Trinan. Spelled like it sounds. Trynin. Kirkwood, I'm not going to touch that one. Maybe Winston needs some extra light bulb. Well, I've turned the lights are not on. I figured I'd be doing this late night. Like, what if I just have this vibe? Because I might do afternoons like this. I might do not afternoons. Excuse me. I might do motivations. Because I can bring the music up. Let me just do some late night motivations. Hello, I'm Ken Napzok, and welcome to Motivations with Ken, your source for inspirations, motivations, and advice to not quite get you through the week. We could do that, right? Some live motivations. So there you go. Andrew says I'm not far off the right accent. I'm not far off the right accent. Now I'm doing it a little different. Angels by Within Temptation. We're just sharing. Now we're just sharing rare, obscure songs to listen to. Yeah, I guess the red mic cord does, huh? I have green, yellow, and like a purple. But red works, huh? Magnus Thor Magnusson is here. This is very good mood lighting. Graham should apologize for the mic. Oh, no, your call was fine, Graham. Don't worry about that. I know you mentioned that on the Discord server. Don't worry about that. This music is by Kojak, our friend Kojak. You should follow him on Twitch. Kojaq. Joe Nesselrode says his Mysteries in the Unexplained going to return. It is on, if you've been listening to Saturday Night Napzok, which is the kind of a comedy podcast I release on Saturday nights on the Napzok Files podcast feed. Nolan Guthrie definitely shows up there. Shorter little interviews and episodes and moments. But as far as a full episode of Mysteries of the Unexplained, I am absolutely, we'll just bring in the Mysteries in the Unexplained episode. Yeah, absolutely planning on doing that. It's been hard. How should I do this? Should I keep kayfabe? It's hard for Nolan to get guests during the lockdown because it's better if Nolan and his guests are face to face, so they could play off each other a little better. Follow for now. Time. Love that.
Serve the public trust.
But Nolan Guthrie is one of my favorite shows to air here, Joe. So don't worry, it's gonna be back. And this is the thing I could do if I was. What did I hit? What did I hit? Oh, that's weird. Two songs are playing at once. Whole Wide World, Cage the Elephant. We now accept international visitors. So if you want to explore the Loch Ness, thank you. I know you're great. If I was smart, I should just do Mysteries in the Unexplained like every night at 1 a.m. I should just, set the alarm, go 1 a.m. to like 6 a.m. and just do a live Mysteries in the Unexplained, which is what AM Coast to Coast with George Norrie is. And before that, Art Bell, which is what Mysteries in the Unexplained is a parody of.
What are your prime directives?
All right, a couple more minutes, my friends. I actually do got to get ready to settle in for the night and watch some ghost hunting shows and relax. Been a busy day and got a busy day tomorrow. Kyle Yazzie says, you're so vain. Carly Simon, there you go. You're so vain. You probably think the song is about you, don't you? Thanks for being a ray of light in the darkness tonight. Well, a ray of light in the darkness, in the dark. Kirkwood, thanks for being part of the show and asking some great questions. You guys are all great tonight. I appreciate it. We'll do this from time to time. Just hanging around, having some fun. If you're a baseball fan and you want to listen to Box Score Heroes, please find the podcast wherever fine podcasts are found. And then there is a separate YouTube channel for Box Score Heroes. And if you want to subscribe to that, do that. Then tomorrow, at least tomorrow for me, we are going to be, we being me and Tom Dagnino, will be live at 4 p.m. Pacific on the Box Score Heroes YouTube channel doing the show Behind the Bag. Do the Most Haunted from the UK. Yes, we've watched that. We like that. Mark Rodeos here says, do you think C-3PO could be a Skywalker? Anakin created him. Maybe the prophecies yet to be fulfilled. Yes. This sounds like I'm doing like a actually push my glasses up to my nose, Mark. Technically, Anakin didn't create C-3PO a bit from scratch. Technically, he got him and made him better and kind of like rebuilt him. Oh, that other light went out. Definitely time to go. But I don't want to bring that into the conversation, Mark, because I know what you mean, and I think you're right. Yes, C-3PO Skywalker. Works for me. Ablin Soul says night all, and I think that's a good thing for me to go out on. Well, we'll close out with the motivations music, and we'll do this again. This is kind of fun. I enjoyed it, and I really appreciate you guys just letting me hang out and do silly things. All right, bye.